Now?
Oh,
Okay, great.
perfect. How are you?
I'm good. I have all the sun right here, so I was considering to move, but if it is okay, then yeah.
If it's okay with you, otherwise, yeah, feel free to move so it's not staring you right in the eyes.
I'm hoping that it will move away, but if not, I have a curtain, so as you probably know already, and it's called Aalborg, the city. I study export and technology management,
Awesome.
but I come from Spain, so I'm not Danish.
So how's that been? Is all your family back in Spain?
Yeah, so I'm the only one here. Coincidentally, my sister is also in Northern Europe right now. She's living in Finland, and I am in
Oh,
Denmark. But the rest of the family is in Spain. Hmm.
yeah, that's hard because Spain has been hit really hard with COVID, from what I was reading.
Yeah, fortunately, it seems like nobody in my family is affected, so that's
Oh,
just
good.
pure luck. Because we are many in my family. My mom has 8 siblings.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so it's actually really lucky that we are all right. Well, I include myself, but I'm here. Um, but it's just I don't know what adjective to use actually because for me, when I think about them, I feel that I am way safer here in Denmark because it's well, it's a way smaller country, so I guess in that aspect it's easier to manage
Yeah.
and in Spain they have been very long time in lockdown and whew, I can't imagine how that must be and oh and like everything can be crowded way easily than here you have more space and so on, so we actually can go out being careful,
Okay.
so that's a major difference.
Yeah, yeah. Being able to actually go outside is huge. I know.
It's really funny to see how differently people react. Yeah, I know that some of my friends in the beginning, I don't know right now how they are dealing with it, but in the beginning, I remember a friend saying, "Yeah, I don't know exactly what to do because I have friends that are locking themselves up, and I have friends that are like, nah, this is absolutely not necessary." So I am like, okay, I might meet once per week, and yeah, so it's really
Meet in the middle.
different. Oh, it's difficult, I guess, because we're at least me. I'm very social, so just being here, it's so different. And for example, in regards to the studies, well, it's funny because what I feel is that on one side I'm not going out, which
Mhm.
could mean okay, holiday time because I'm not going to school and I'm not going to work. But I actually have way more time because also our professors want to make sure that we're having tasks and learning and so on. So they give us assignments and we still have group work to do uh, and I also still have work, which is very lucky and I'm very happy. Yeah, so it's just like sitting at home having like, am I free? No, I'm actually not free. I have this and that and that and that and that to do, and it's just like holiday or not. Nope.
It's easy to get in that mindset when you're home though, because you just kind of get complacent and you're like, oh, okay, I don't have anything to do. But you're right. You look at your calendar and you're like, nope, I have tons of things to do. I need to get moving.
Totally, yeah. I it's such a funny feeling. Yeah. At the same time, regarding the university project, I don't know, it's my second semester in this degree. So I have the feeling that I'm really not learning as I did with the previous one. Maybe
Yeah.
it's also because the first one makes a bigger impact on you
Mhm.
and it's like first time learning how the methodology goes and so on. But I don't know, this time it's like even when we meet on group work, we barely started using video on like 2 weeks ago, and still not all of the people are using it. So it's very hard because you don't know when they want to speak or if they are doing another thing or nothing.
Yeah.
So we have had some awkward moments where I haven't counted the time, but it's just like silent.
Oh no.
And sometimes you're like, okay, what happened?
Are you there? There's a blank
Exactly.
screen. Like,
Someone please say something. Yeah.
I'm
And
all
it
alone.
exactly. Also because I mean, you can imagine like doing a group work, you expect to have like a ping pong of ideas and
Yeah.
a discussion and yeah, feedback. And when that happens, it's like, well, yeah, sure, I will go on with my thoughts.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. I had a group project and it actually went better than we expected, but there was like a 30-minute gap where we were like, we're just going to work on it, not say anything, because it's really not very effective because not everyone was contributing. So we just shared on the Google Doc and then everyone participated on the Google Doc and we were still on Zoom, but no one was talking and someone joined late and they were like, is anyone here? We're like, yeah, we're just working, being quiet and our blank screens, like very antisocial.
Yeah, exactly. And that, I don't know, it's just like a whole new dimension. Actually, I have to admit that the other day, for the first time, I fell asleep on a class because like it was the second class of the day and the classes are like 3 hours 15 or something.
Mhm.
I just fell asleep and it was, I don't know, I could feel the adrenaline in when I woke up because it was just like not much time, but then I woke up and my cat was on the keyboard. So I was like, oh my God, this is bad. I hope nobody heard me snoring or something.
Here's your cat typing.
Actually, that happened today. Yeah. I had everything open. I went out for a while and suddenly she had been texting with somebody. And I was like, okay, that's good. It wasn't the project, but
So you definitely feel like learning has been different since transitioning.
yeah. I guess because it requires a lot of self discipline because suddenly it's like, okay, you're at home, but remember that you have to study and you cannot just be, I don't know, around the house doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You have schedule to follow and you have to remember that after the online classes, you still should work and before them, you have to prepare for them. And yeah, and then be sure that you don't miss any deadlines and things like that. And I think it has been going well.
Mm-hmm.
It just can be a bit stressing sometimes because it's like, okay, how can I tell my colleagues that I actually have to work as well, even though we're in Corona times, I still have to work, and it's yeah,
That's a lot. Yeah. So where are you working?
yeah. I'm working in a union.
Oh,
It's called HK. Yeah, I really like it actually. I'm really happy that I'm there, and I'm a student ambassador. So my tasks are to find the way that my union can offer themselves better to the students.
that's really cool.
It's really, really nice. I'm learning a lot about employees' rights and so on. So it's very, very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a huge educational experience while you're working. That's really cool.
Totally. And I also make sure that I am being treated honestly. So that's nice.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Kind of re-examine your situation and be like, is this fair?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's really funny because now that you mentioned that, I have also been following that people are really complainative
Mm-hmm.
and more criticizing than giving any constructive feedback or anything. And
Yeah.
actually, the first days, like the first maybe 3 4 days, I remember here in Denmark, oh my God, people went crazy. I think everywhere in the planet, but they were just like raiding the supermarkets and
Yep.
like it was wow.
Yeah, here too, everything was just kind of bare on the shelves, and still the toilet paper, Clorox wipes, those kind of things, those aisles are still bare, and the freezer sections are
Nowadays,
becoming more bare. Like the produce is still okay, but you kind of have to substitute certain things. So it's really interesting what's happening at the stores. And then I had been sick for like 4 weeks, so I didn't really go out because the doctor tested me and I didn't have COVID, but he said that I had all the symptoms. And so to just act that I did have COVID, because I guess with the testing here in the United States, they're not as accurate as they should be. Yeah, and they're getting them from certain labs. So I didn't go out for a while, and then I went back into the stores, and you have to wear face coverings, and then there's only a certain amount of people limited in the store, and so you have to be lined outside in 6 feet increments. And so when I first went, there was like 20 people lined out the door waiting to get into the store. And then each cart has to be wiped down, and it's really interesting.
The cars?
Yeah, the carts have to be sanitized and wiped down before you can use them. And then you're supposed to sanitize your hands before you go in, and then they prefer that you wear gloves if you're touching anything.
Yeah, that's true. Here, every supermarket has alcohol in the entrance, and then gloves, like the ones to take fruit and so on. They put them in the entrance, and then you have to. Some people I've seen that don't take them, but normally, yeah.
Most people. Yeah, I've seen a few that don't, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think has been the most challenging switching from physical learning now to all online learning?
I guess not being able to perceive directly the people around, because there is no one around, and so you cannot interact the same way. And for example, my learning in my university is very, very much focused on group discussion and group tasks, and all is around groups. So not being present has made it really, really difficult, because often the teachers wanted us to make something and maybe half the group was online, or not even that. It's like often in the presential classes, we would have discussions on the meantime, like as we go in the class, and it's like, yeah, so now this, discussing groups, and we talk about it in 7 minutes. And it's like, if we do that, we have to change our call and connect again, and so it doesn't work. So in the end, we're not doing that. And yeah, because of that, I think that is very challenging in that sense, also because sometimes I can see that this must be really hard for the professors. Like, I really, really imagine that.
Yeah.
And I try to participate, to be honest, in the classes, but sometimes it's really hard, because it's really easy to lose concentration when you're kind of in another sphere, because you are muted and your camera is off because you are many people in the same call. So it's really easy to just disconnect, and suddenly there's silence, and you're like, oh, okay, there was a question there, and nobody answers, and you can see that the professor is like waiting a bit, or there are other professors that are just like, so this, wait a second, and then keep on going, keep on going, keep on going, and then there's no space for an answer whatsoever. It's really funny with the different ways. Also, there are professors that have like a more concrete way of speaking, and they are faster than others in their arguments, and it's shorter. And for me, that's easier to follow, because it keeps your brain in connection. But there is also some others that give a long explanation, and the explanation has branches of branches of branches, and those totally lose me. And it can be very interesting, but it's just like, what was it? Like, okay.
Yeah, I understand. When you're not in the classroom, for whatever reason, classroom learning is like you're always engaged and you're always present. But when you're in your own surroundings, yeah, it's so much easier to get distracted. And if you have animals, it's even easier.
Totally, yeah, definitely. And one of my professors is only one, thankfully. Oh my God, if it was more, I would die. And this professor actually really likes asking by names. So yeah, so often I'm like, okay, now I can eat something, because I've been really long without eating anything. But it's impossible in this class, because you really don't want to be called when you're taking a bite. And yeah, and for whatever the reason, she knows my name, so it's like no, okay. I like to participate though, so it's okay, but yeah.
And are all of your classes like in those 3.5 hour blocks? Are they? Oh gosh, yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, normally yes, but sometimes, especially now with the video calling and so on, many times they explain something and then they give us exercises and then it can be shortened. Yeah, but otherwise it is like a long time, and especially the last classes of a subject tend to be shorter, but the first ones are always like blah 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 and subject. So yeah. Not in a bad way, I appreciate it, but it's more intense the first days.
Yeah, and that's a long time to try to concentrate, especially when you're not in class.
Yeah, the good thing is in Denmark, because I was also studying in Copenhagen before, and they also had this system. Yeah, it was really nice. But they tend to have breaks often, so that's really nice. So you have like, depending on the time of the class, but you have 5 minutes or 20, 15, 30. So it's really good.
That's time to eat in between.
Exactly.
It's, yeah, it's definitely adjustment. Let's see. So all of your classes transitioned. Have any of your classes not been able to transition online?
Actually, we were supposed to have some class about Inventor. Do you know the program?
I'm not familiar with it. No,
It's
sorry.
like, no problem. It's to make 3D drawings, and
Okay.
yeah. And I guess I'm not 100% sure, but I expected to have classes and be introduced to how it works and so on. But then the corona came and we never had a class, and the class that were supposed to be dedicated to that were set as self-study. So yeah, so actually people are really lost with that.
Yeah.
Myself, I'm a bit luckier because my boyfriend has been working with that for years and he actually was taught that. Yeah, so I'm totally saved because I have somebody to run to, like, this doesn't work. But that's something that is being a very big struggle because we are going to be evaluated and nobody has a clue. Yeah.
That doesn't seem very fair if they didn't give you any instruction and introduction to it.
Yeah, like the other day somebody asked about it and they were like, no, it's still in the curriculum and you have to learn. And I mean, I'm really interested, I really want to learn, but I guess we should be appointed a class online or something. But
Yeah.
we only had a few minutes with a professor that suggested, hey, if you are interested, I can show you a few tricks and so on. And we had that, but this is a program that has so many tools and things to do with it. So it would be very nice to have like a in-depth trial or something.
Yeah.
No. It's being a funny process. But
And by
apart from
funny,
that, yeah, we also had some struggles. We were supposed to have okay, how to call it? We had an assignment where we were supposed to prepare a speech, let's say, and then present it. So you would be given feedback on your body language and on how you present. And so it was really interesting. And I think that's very recommendable to anybody. At least I am interested. But of course, after this, that's like an impossible task to do because part of it is like also how you relate to each other because it was a group presentation. And like that you cannot do that online, so in the end it has been very different. And yeah, it's just sad that it couldn't be another way. So
yeah.
those are the most challenging situations, I would say. Sorry.
How long was your commute? And did you normally go by rail or?
So I started by going by bike, but I am very lazy, and I was getting very sweaty and red when I arrived to campus. So then I stopped doing that, and I started taking the bus. And that's if you catch the buses right away, it's very fast. It's like it can even be 15 minutes on a lucky day, I would say. But normally I try to go with at least 30 minutes minimum, because you never know, traffic, or you miss the bus, or yeah. So it's actually not bad. Like, I was used to Spain in Madrid, and it was like easy 1 hour and a half. So this is just like, yeah. Actually would like to do my internship abroad when it comes. And I really don't know how the world is going to react after this. Like, is it still going to be that much global exchange, or what's going to happen?
Yeah, I was wondering about that too, even with trade, because I know that there's just a lot of fear around recontracting it and bringing it back into certain areas or spreading it. So it'll be interesting. And I know, studying abroad will be interesting too, or doing an internship. They might have you do it. I know I was talking to one of my professors, and they were transitioning to doing it just virtually, or trying to do it just virtually. And I'm like,
for what?
They are talking about an archaeology internship, and usually that's pretty hands-on, but they are trying to do it like virtually and do more cataloging and that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I'm up for it, but I'd much rather do that in person.
That's so different, yeah.
Yeah, it's just
I hope there is somebody somewhere in the planet creating a very interesting VR, like, and you can do everything.
Yeah, people will be escaping to VRs where they can actually immerse into the world.
Yeah. Did I tell you everything you needed?
Yes. Yeah. No, we covered a lot. We did good. We probably Dr. Gutierrez will probably have to edit out some stuff because
that's gonna be really long to see. Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, oh, an hour. Okay, I asked for 20 minutes. 20 or 30 minutes, but he said it was good to just keep the conversation flowing too, because then if we had extra, then he could edit out some other stuff and make it so that it's that all the crucial points are covered. And so I'll send this to him, and then he'll send it edited version back to me or to you, and then you can go through it and see if you like it or don't like it, and then approve it, and then he'll send it off.
That's gonna be such a long work. Oh wow. Okay. I hope you have popcorn somewhere.
Maybe he can skip over some parts where we're just.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. At least he should.
It's just not having a lot of communication. I've realized that when I'm on these calls that I talk a lot more, and I'm like, oh, someone to talk to.
Hi, but that's great. I mean, anthropology and perks of anthropology. Yeah.
Thank you so much for talking with me, and
I was really happy for it. I'm glad.
Thank you.